This to be much brighter. Alright. Alright, so to begin, I think I want to try and finish up that background a bit. So more purple. Whatever that went to. Is it you? I don't think it's you. I think it's you. Alright. Nope, it wasn't you. What was the other one? That's weird. Here, I'll show you. Which of these two colors do you think is darker? You can't quite see. But this is kind of a pinkish one, and this is a lot closer to ultraviolet. But it's the other way around. I don't know why. Still got a bit to learn about paint, I guess. Alright, and we did black. In the back, just put on a lot of paint, figure it out as we go. Alright, brushes. Alright. So, let's figure this out. I kind of like the white, but I'm going to experiment and see what like dark black on the edges looks like. Obviously having just like solid black all the way around isn't quite the best looking for it, but it's a baseline to work from. Alright. Today I am. Hello? Someone painting? Yes, I am somebody painting. Hello, look my nose. Hey. Welcome, welcome. Yes, I've done a bit of painting before, some of my previous projects you can see back here. Those two Beatrices down there. But, I'm trying to experiment a bit with this, link here. I'm still learning how to paint and all that stuff. Doing some experiments with just seeing honestly what it is I can do with some of this. And how much I can mess up. Purposely messing up. So you're not afraid of it. Alright, seems that's pretty decent. Let's go small little bumps there. Gives that a little bit more form. Alright. Right. Pretty much it's what I'm working at now. Oops, sorry. Bumped the microphone. But yeah, it's so far I've only really done a couple of paintings. 1, 2, 3, and a Bob Ross one. That's what I've done so far. Bob Ross one is not anything special, and it's actually completely messed up color-wise. But yeah, I'm starting to see what how well I do with painting. I've done a lot of arty things prior. Some drawing, some sculpting, some sewing, 3D modeling, chainmail, jewelry, so many, I'm starting to forget them all. Yeah, so currently I'm doing paint with acrylics. Currently. It's annoying to try and get all the color off your brush. I don't know how to do that one quite yet. Still figuring it out. Is it every time I can... It's always more that just sticks in their brush. Alright, so... purple and black. Let's see... Like that. Well, my suggestion, because that's what I've done, is don't worry about wasting things. Because you can always get more paint. You can always get it back. And it's not a waste if you do something with it. It's a waste if you just let it sit there. I've actually had that happen. Where, give me one sec. Yeah, sorry about the lighting. I've got 3 light bulbs that went out over there. Thought they were normal ones, but no, they're special prong bulbs. I can't swap out. So the color's a little off here. But, yeah, I used, miniature painting. That was where I really started out with painting. And, I got all these, big colors and whatnot. Alright. Well, it could be better. It bugs me. No, I shouldn't worry too much, but it's still a thing. But, yeah, I had miniature painting, and I bought all these little bottles and good colors, and I didn't want to waste them. I wanted to make sure the model was just right and all that stuff. Didn't want to waste my paint. Well, it looks like I was in a different room that wasn't well insulated. Moved over here over the winter. I'm shortening things up because I've told the story a few times. When I went back out there, I realized I forgot the paint out there and it froze. So all that paint I was saving up and trying not to waste, I wasted the entire pot, every single bit of it. It didn't work right. It had little nubs in the paint. It was weird. I don't quite know why. But yeah, so I ended up wasting the whole lot, every bit of paint. And so I've going into this one with the opposite mindset. If I don't use the paint, I'll be wasting it. And I'm forcing myself to use the paint because that same mindset, yeah. I went down to the art store and picked out a whole bunch of paint. Not like the entire store or whatnot, but enough to get me started, enough to get me going, and then I used it. And I'm still using it. I'm trying to still use it up. And for me, it's the act of actually doing that gets me going. If I sit there waiting, oh, I might waste it, I might use it up, something might go wrong, yada yada, you'll never get to it. You will never be good enough to start with that mindset. So I decided to personally abandon that mindset and just get going. Every so often I always hear what's his face with the just do it. And it really is that simple. Now getting good at drawing is alright, but one of the other things that can help with that mindset is don't think of it as a final piece, because that's what happened with that one there. That one is still not finished. I still got a few minor tweaks left to work on it. But I kept treating that as a final production, a good painting, and it's like, don't screw it up. This one I'm treating as a doodle, a sketch, a study, and it's okay to screw it up. It's okay to fail. And look how far I'm coming with it. Fair enough, fair enough. One thing to help with that, especially if you can't freehand it, is a grid system. You can put in a grid system. These are all 1-inch grids all the way across, and then you can, like, if you have a decent paint sketch that you're referencing or whatever, you can grid that one up. and that'll give you a much closer approximation to what you need. Even if you're not the best at drawing, you just need to draw that little third of a square. You don't need to draw the entire edge of the sword. And you can work your way towards an accurate drawing. That was a something my grandpa did. He still is a actual professional painter. He teaches at a college, not anywhere near here. But he would grid out things for the landscapes and the like, and he became pretty good at it. Doing all sorts of different painting things. Need more purple. And there's I guess I'm just projecting a bit onto you a bit, but these are things I've had to go through and work through. And one of the things is, well, that feels like cheating. Well, the only real cheating is full-on tracing or stealing. I claim no ownership of the original artwork. That's not mine. I'm claiming work on the paint I put on the canvas, not the design for it. And this is a practice piece. And so, other than that, if it's something to help you get better, something to help you improve, give it a shot, see if it works. But don't end up treating it like a crutch, because that's the big hang up. A lot of people use crutches as an approximation of skill. Over here. That works. But yeah, I'm not really one to say anything, but it is what it is. Yeah, and that's the thing. These are all personal pieces, personal learning things to help me get to a point where I can do this without tracing or borrowing ideas and concepts. 'Cause that's honestly where I'd really like to be. I like being able to... I like fantasy, fictional characters and whatnot. But I like realistic style drawings, artwork. Which doesn't quite mesh well, because I can... I don't know the words for it, but I can see it and do a pretty good close approximation on the by eye. If I can see it, I can draw it, but if I can't see it, it always turns out weird, wrong, different. And I think it's because I don't know what it's supposed to look like if I can't see it. And I guess that's kind of the point of a reference. A lesson I learned a little bit later than I probably should have. But yeah, see, I'm just having fun with it here. That's another big one for me. It's I do too. It's not that I don't like the unrealistic, but I have a preference for the real. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm having trouble with finding the words today. I have this problem in other videos, other streams, but it seems a bit more prominent today. Yeah. Get off, color. But yeah, it's when you have like a realistic art style, you can actually see it, and you can see the skill involved into it. That's always really impressive, being able to see like a master of the artwork. At the same time, I don't like the super photorealism. Oh, cool. Yeah, well, I'm at the weird stage where I draw the human body in weird, shapeless blobs. Like, I got a picture, a sketch I drew, for, one of my, viewers, regulars, my mod, currently. She's not on right now, so waiting to big reveal for that. But, like the forearm, instead of having like a cube or whatnot, I kind of just have this line where the muscle is, and it works okay, but it's hard to put it all back together. I can like see, oh yeah, that's an arm, but then how do I connect it? That's my issue. Because yeah, I don't know. Art is weird. Art is so weird that way. You can't quite tell what you're doing sometimes. It's like you've seen this every day of your life. It's like it's a hand. I know it's a hand. What the hell does it look like? Why can't I make it look right? For some reason, I can draw feet decently well. I don't know why, but I can draw feet okay. Then hands look like sausage fingers. It's weird. But yeah, I tend to work best with like the torso, and abdomen, I guess. I worked really hard at getting those down right, and I'm actually pretty good at it. But then anything else, especially the face, I think I've run away from finalizing details on faces so much that I don't do it. But yeah, art is hard, and I want to try and work more at it. Get the art aspect better. I want to be better. I've always had this weird talent. It kind of comes easy-ish to me, but then there's just this one pothole I fall into and just fall so short. I don't know why. Art is just so weird. I'm actually planning on going to some art schools to get a bit better, and not like a Full Sail college or something like that, but something actually called an atelier. That is one of the other ones, and don't fall into that trap either. Well, it's yeah. Art is like this weird bit where it runs off of emotion, but is enabled by logic. And those are kind of two contrasting things. Not entirely, but they don't get along overly well. But just not in the mood to draw, and that's I've been there. I still kind of am there at times. The trick is, well, the trick I'm trying to work with currently. I'm not an expert in any of this. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants and trying to figure it out, just like you are, I guess. But don't, how do I say this? Words. Like I said, words are failing me today. I'm trying to get waiting until you're in the mood to draw. Doesn't work. You'll always be waiting for outside factors, the environment to be right. You've got time down. Nobody's complaining. No all other whatever's going. You finally have time, and you're in the mood. Getting all of those lined up in a row to happen routinely isn't gonna happen. So, what do? Well, my solution that I'm working on is get yourself in a position where it's less of an issue getting that stuff lined up. First and foremost, it's one of the reasons I'm in this building here. This is a outbuilding away from the main building over there, and it's mine. It's quiet. So I've gotten rid of all those other distractions and such. I don't have a TV other than this monitor here. Don't have cable, any of that stuff. I don't even have Netflix or anything like that. I've never quite been partial to that stuff anyway. But getting rid of distractions is helpful for it. But then getting things so you're always able to act when you have the mood ready. For instance, my biggest annoyance is I am always motivated the most to do art when I can't do a thing about it. The biggest one being my drive to work. I'm driving to work, a half-hour-ish drive there, and it's like I start thinking of, oh yeah, I could do all this stuff as I'm going to work for an 8-hour shift. I can't do anything about this. I can't bring this with me and paint there, so I'm never able to work on it. So I've got my paint and stuff just sitting right here, right in front of my computer, all my stuff, so it's always in my face. It's always there, ready for me to pick up when I need to. It's not foolproof, but it works a lot better than having to pull open a drawer, set things up, do all that stuff. Just make it a break. Right. Sure, let me just pull out my easel and my canvas and just, what are you doing? Painting? I probably could do that actually, but my job doesn't often allow me to do that. I am the phone repair technician at Radio Shack. Yes, Radio Shack still exists, sort of. We're a franchise, and I'm the only tech for literally like 80 miles around the store. So I am the only guy that can repair the phones for anybody in the town here. So I tend to have a lot of stuff working on me. That could probably be a bit brighter. Let's see what happens. Okay, but needs a bit more. But yeah. It's cool on your desk. It's like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm just trying to get things going, because me personally, I know that I have trouble if it's not in front of my face. Like, I'll step outside of the room, go do stuff, and I'll like completely space. It's like no longer in my thought process. And it's only when I get back in here and it's like, oh shit, yeah, I was supposed to do that. And so I'm trying to get that out of the way. The other one is getting myself into a habit, which is something I'm trying to start now. Originally I did start it with this stream. I started up this stream trying to do crafting and do it every day ish, to keep me going, keep the momentum flowing. But I found some issues with that, in that it doesn't always work, and you tend to burn out quickly, at least for me anyway. And it's weird. I don't quite know how to fix that one. So the solution of the experiment I'm working on now is something unrelated, something personally. I want to do this. It's not, I need to practice drawing Link. I need to practice doing this, practice all this stuff. This is me making something I want to make. Just no other alternatives. I want to see how fast and well I can do this. And, well, sort of. I don't want to see how perfect I can make this. I want to finish this. There's a weird difference in that. Because, yeah, these two I was working at making correct. This one I'm working at finishing. Even if it sucks, I want to try and finish it, because that's always something I have trouble with. I got like sketchbook somewhere around here. I still need to find that. A sketchbook somewhere around here that's filled with a lot of partway things, nothing ever taken to the final verdict, because I'm afraid of messing it up. That's my personal thing, fear of failure. Go on, paint, get off my brush. And so I'm trying to tackle that fear head on-ish, and just get things rolling. What do you mean? Yeah, it's and I tend to be circular in my habits. I'll stop it, go do this one, stop it, go do this habit, this, and end up right back where I started. Trying to break the cycle of how all that stuff works by trying some different things, trying some obvious things, trying some simple things, trying some out of the box stuff if it works. Come on, get off. Good enough. But yeah, it's another one is I seen this with family members and myself, because when you start thinking of something as something you have to do, something that needs to be done, something that has to be right in order to like sell this. I gotta sell this, I gotta make it right, I gotta make sure everything is okay. Then you start putting limitations on yourself. Then you start putting negative emotional attachment to it. It's like, if I screw it up, they'll hate me. If I do this, I won't be able to do it. And you start getting fearful. I've been there. So I'm trying to just do away with that. This is not going to be sold. This is not going to be anything important. This is me doodling because I want to doodle. I'm trying to get myself in that mindset, and then trying to apply that to the sellable stuff. What is it? El Sai Konguru. But yep, right here, right? Suzuha. What's her name? Been a while since I played it. But yeah, it's Steins Gate. Can you name them all? 100 bonus points if you can name the blonde next to her, right above Phoenix. El Sai Konguru. Where'd my paintbrush go? There it is. Right, that is an interesting one, and I like the concept in the Steins Gate of transferring consciousness, not physical body, but the memories, the save state of it. Yeah, no, I'm horrible with names too. I can recognize faces. Oh yeah, it's you. What's your name? I have no idea, but I recognize the face, and it's kind of fascinating. It's because, yeah, honestly, I remember a lot of my viewers because of the colors on the chat bar. I don't have enough to have multiple colors for multiple people, so it's just a small number, and they tend to have the same color, and that's where I can easily at a glance remember, oh yeah, you're you. And so when Twitch screws that up, I start having to double check the names. It's weird. But yeah, I'm a visual person. I gotta see it. Hence, I guess, the artistic part of it. But yeah, it's names are weird. But at the same time, it's like I'm good with faces. But like when people, mostly women and such, do like heavy makeup changes or dye their hair and do a new hairdo, it takes me a moment or two to recognize them, if I can. Yeah, it's fascinating how you like notice some of that stuff, or don't. Because like for me, I've got glasses. I am nearsighted. Very much so. Take these off. The screen is now blurry, which is probably not a good thing. And so I can't see details at a distance, but I can still recognize some people by the way they walk. If they're all rigid and upright or just kind of lanky, smooth going, whatnot. Their body shape and like their shirt color. That's how I recognize people, not by like the fine details of stuff, but just overall things about them. Alright, so I think that's most of it for the purple. Oh, no, final details there. And hello. Oh, you're here. Oh, I've got something to show you. Give me a second to finish up this little segment here. I hate all the little white that ends up on all these paintings. Don't quite know how to fix that. Alright. You gave me a project, and I did it, for the most part. Well, sounds interesting. It can be. But, yeah, one of the things I like to do every so often is, it sounds kind of creepy, and it potentially is, but I like watching life, watching people, like go to a park. Yep, cat girl. It's not the best, but I'm gonna claim rustiness on this aspect. I haven't actually drawn like this in a while, but here you go. This is from a stock photo reference. And this face, face is the weak point on that one. I need to work on it. But yeah, switching gears here, trying to hold two conversations at once. Harder than you think, man. But I like watching life, like sit on the park bench and just like watch the birds, or like watch like those people over there and see what the hell they're doing, and like try and like guess them. That seems like a little family over there. That's probably dad, mom, little kid over there, grandpa over there, or something like that. This old lady sitting here walking her dog, things like that, and just like look at people, not just watch them, but just look at them. See the weak point. Yeah, it's like I was telling you, the torso and whatnot. I'm pretty good at that aspect. I've kind of focused a bit on that, I guess, specialization. And here, I'll show you as well as here. These still ain't finished. I'm working on it, Beatrice. Just give me some time. The face is not the best, but I did a lot of good on the rest of the body, especially the clothes and such. Yeah, it's observation. There's no creepiness meant it, but it's like an artist looking and observing it like a bowl of fruit and seeing what it is. It's the thighs, huh? Alright. But yeah, I'm working at it, things. I need to work on facial recognition. That's my next weak point I'm trying to hammer out and work home. Namely, I guess a link here. But for whatever reason, I can do like clothes and like attire things pretty well. As soon as it starts working with like flesh and the skin, it goes all wonky. I don't know why. That's cool. Any other requests you would like me to try? Or other spontaneous ideas or some such? That was actually kind of fun to bring up and do. And I think I want to try and do some more drawing and get back into the habit of that. Because I do know I have somewhere around here I've got a folder with all my sketches in it. I don't know where it went to. Because I've got some sketchbooks there, but it's not there. I don't know what happened to it. Yeah, well. So, I'm going to try and start sketching again. Just try and pick it up some and practice a bit more and get art more ingrained into my life again. Alright. Let's go with skin. And just again, that pale-ish color. So what do I do for that? Probably you. I need a better setup. 1, 2, there we are. I guess I get try again. A little tap of red. Yeah, I've only got so many colors. I don't have the whole rainbow to work with, so it's kind of weird and different trying to figure out how to make skin color with a yellow and like a white. I can make a decent peach skin color, but once it starts getting like fair, kind of like Asian or elfin, like I guess Hylian, if you want to go that route, is here. It's not quite entirely right. Currently acrylics is what I'm working with. If you want like the brand, it's Artist Color Academy, and one I picked up at Walmart because I realized I didn't have a black. Alright. That should just be a little dab. I'm still learning how to properly lay paints and stuff out. But yeah, like I said, I went into an art store and picked up a bunch of paints, red, blue, green, and a couple other more specific colors for what I wanted. Mainly this project here, which was mostly black, brown, and red, white, gold, those kind of things. Just a small little bit. They do. Like, as I've been talking, this is the purple I've been using. I can touch it and it's dry. So yeah, they're quick dry. You can keep them wet. Like some combinations, it doesn't work quite with this palette, especially the way I do things. I'd have to put like water in these little divots there. But as you can see, I'm laying it like on my leg and it tilts and it will just drip everywhere, so I don't do that. So I just do small little dabs and let it dry, peel it off, and do some more. Slow dry medium. I didn't know that was a thing. Like I said, I just kind of pick this stuff up. Alright. Alright, so let's see, I'm scraping one side of that off so I can get the clean color palette over here. Alright, so yeah. Yeah, oils. Oils are, I've never used them, but I've seen some video of it. They seem odd. Like acrylics, I can just paint and like it dries, and then I can paint over it. Like right over here, it's all dry. Nothing really happens, and I can paint over it relatively easily. And acrylics are very pick up and go. Apparently, oils are like they last like a really long time. You can always come back days later or so. From what I've heard, they seem interesting and odd, but they look like they smear a lot. Oils are just odd. I've no experience with them. I don't know what to expect with them. Give me a sec, trying to get a good skin tone here. White, maybe. Yeah, However, acrylics don't blend all that well. Most of the stuff I do is like workarounds for to imitate the blend. The oil's really good at that. Blend them really good. All right. Yeah, a lot of my acrylics are pretty relatively harsh on the transitions, but I don't know. Seems like it's okay. It seems. Well, let's give it a shot. Like I said, it's not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be finished. Yeah, good enough. But yeah, blending is actually pretty impressive. I've seen, yeah, it's like I said, I did miniature painting, and in there they have airbrushes. Airbrushes are apparently the main way to blend or gradient colors with acrylics. And I was getting ready for that step, but then my paint went bad. Never quite went back to it. I just never restocked up on that paint. And I did try at one point to try and like aerosolize. I think so I could put paint into the gun with like generic brand acrylics. Don't do that. It doesn't work. Trust me on that. The paint is too thick. The miniature paint is very, very fine pigments. But yeah, so it's kind of more like a cheat with the acrylics. Not really a cheat, but it's not a true blend most of the time. So it's kind of fascinating seeing ways to do it. But yeah, one of the things I do like doing is dry brushing. It's like when you take paint on here, rub it off, and then like with barely any paint, you're like painting over things. And it creates generally highlights or shadows very easily without having a solid blob of paint on something. So it's not like a blend, it's more like a transparent layer of sorts. And if you screw it up, you can just paint right back over it and try it again. Which is pretty cool. I like that aspect of it. Acrylics are, I guess, forgiving in that regard. Especially since they, what the hell? Oh. I forgot to draw the bottom of his hand. Yeah, I forgot to draw this part right here, so it's just blank. I've got like a sword hilt and his wrist, and then that part of the hand, but I'm missing his thumb. Oversight. Alright. There we go. Alright. But yeah. The adventures in art is always fascinating. You never know where you're gonna go. Because I've been all over. The art scene, not anywhere worldly, but just bumbling about, going in all sorts of different directions. And it's fascinating, some of the stuff you pick up. Like, I originally started this channel doing sewing on clothes. Mainly for dolls. One's right back here. And as such, I learned a hell of a lot about sewing and how clothes are made. And so, they make a lot more sense now, and I realize how absurd some of the fantasy stuff is. Before, it could have been like, oh yeah, that's kind of silly, but it's neat looking. But now that's not practical at all, crafting wise. And yeah, that's somewhat in my same boat. Um, I have trouble coming up with original ideas, original thoughts. That's one of my Achilles heels. I have multiple, I guess. And so I'm still unsure about what to do about that aspect. Because I know a lot of creative people come up with like, shit. I just poked him in the eye. Come up with entire worlds and like backstories and all this very impressive and fascinating things for people, and then they draw them and like have all these like accurate measurements and details and shit. I can't do that. I can get some of it and a generic idea, but I can't get it anywhere near that level that some of those people have. And then it's like, if you were to just like give me a pencil and say draw whatever you want, I would be flat out lost. One example is like in Minecraft sandbox games. Those just don't click for me. Like where you can go and do anything, I do nothing. But if I have something to work from, like for instance this one, I like Link, I'm gonna try and draw him. I can do it. I can do it very well. I don't mean to ever brag, but I can mimic, I can recreate, I can do stuff like that. Which again was one of the problems with trying to teach myself to draw fictional things. I can't see it. I can't work with it. Yeah, it's like in Minecraft, it's like, okay, I can build a house. And I build a brick. Just a rectangle box. Alright, I need iron. Let's go down below and pick up some iron for some stuff and make things. And hell, the most creative thing I've ever done in Minecraft was name a place Moria. It wasn't a Lord of the Rings recreation, it was just me digging in the ground. And trying to build a cave house in the mines. And that was about it. And it was nothing grandiose, nothing creative about it. It was just, I was living in the mountain. And that was it. I didn't get very far, and before I just dropped it. So I have trouble with full creative freedom. It's too much for me to personally handle. So I'm working at trying to figure out ways to get around that and still be creative. One of them is creating other people's works, mostly like commission work and such. Hi, Cirrus. Welcome. Painting's going alright. I'm working at painting a face now. You guys can't even really see, can you? I want a second camera. One webcam here so you can see me, and a second right here so you can see the painting. But they're all sold out, man. This is just like... They don't sell them anymore. This pandemic has been hell on all that stuff. Give me a sec. Alright, there we are. Yeah, I'll get one eventually. And then there's always that little bit of second guessing myself. Do I really need it now before I move? And the answer to that is actually just get it when you can. Sorry, I'm trying to clear up all these grid lines I've got. Paint's too thin and you can see through it. Alright. And then I've got the ears left. The ears. There's Orion. Hello, welcome. It's got a few people here today. It is a weird sword because it's from the Majora's Mask game, and that's the stage 2 one you can get. It's not the most common one, but it is one of the more unique looking ones, and I like it for that. His main one is actually like all gold and black and shit, which is neat, but I like the way this one looks a bit better. Yes. Oh, thank you for the follow. Look my lick my nubs. So, are you? Do you know German, or is that just a funny way of saying things? Alright, yeah, thanks for the chat, man. Been fun. See you later. Take care. Hope I helped you somewhat. If not, at least I hope I entertained you for a while. Painting is weird. It's not. Keep going, keep going, keep going. No grid lines. No, I do have grid lines, you just can't see them anymore. Well, mostly, anyway. Let's just flat blob color that. Yeah, there we are. I've got a pencil sketch underneath that, but it's I'm caught between this desire to keep that sketch there and just paint what I need to, or paint all over it and then repaint over it the proper shade and shit. So I'm gonna try just painting over it. Get one flat color and then readjust. But it shouldn't be too hard to fix that, right? Yeah, no, I do have grid lines. Sorry. I missed your comment there for a bit, but yeah, I do have grid lines on here. I am not that good at drawing just yet, but you can see some in the shield here. I've got inch by inch grid lines across it. A little tip, give me 1 sec. Umber. White charcoal pencil. Yeah, I was oddly enough, I was thinking about something similar, but sketching on top of the paint. Charcoal. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, charcoal might work. And you can just rub that off for the most part, I think. Oh, you can do that. Damn it, I am not organized today. Not organized at all. Oh. Just disappears, huh? Interesting. Yeah, I might look into that. I'm doing all this painting by seat of my pants. I picked up some paint, drew some stuff, pre-rendered images, all of it, and I'm winging it. That's how I've been going about this. So any tips are greatly appreciated. 'Cause yeah, I've just been doing pencil lines for this. So again, thank you. I unfortunately don't have any charcoal pencils available. All I have is number 2 mechanical pencil. Maybe some colored pencils around here somewhere, if I can remember where they went to. I need to clean up one of these days. Not sure I'll have time today specifically, because Monday's my busy day. Alright, so that's that. I need a bit of black, I guess. And then it starts ring like this. Right. Starts up here. Goes down. Just lines up to that, huh? Right. But yeah, I'm working at it. I am gonna be trying to go to a school and pick up some of the stuff. But I've for the longest time tried to self-teach myself, and it works for the most part, but doing it with a teacher, a mentor, does help a lot more than I realize. And I don't want to spend as much time floundering, so that's my big push for that kind of stuff. Acrylic, yeah, just basic acrylics, I guess. I've got like this type, Academy Artist Color. I went to an art store, picked up a couple of colors off my shelf, a couple of different brands, see what it was, and just went with it. Could use a better black though, because that one I got from Walmart, because I realized the black I had wasn't the right kind of black. But I don't quite like it. I like how dark it is, but you can just tell it's a little less quality. Although it still kind of works. Alright. So you to there, down here, and around. Oh yeah, I think I was gonna main color that first. Yeah, well, sort it out later. Down here, up across, and I think that's about it with the dark shade, so a bit more. But yeah, it's also we're trying to figure out this stupid setup for streaming, because you can't quite see what I'm doing, and I know you can't. So I know I can do better in this regard. Alright, there we are. Alright, and I think you just all sorts of came together like that. It's working out. But yeah. So I'm not focusing on getting everything perfectly right, like the skin tone or anything like that, because the skin tone is a little pale to what it should be. I think I can fix it up a bit later. But right now I'm just trying to get myself to not get in that procrastination state, which tends to cripple me so much. I'm seeing I've got a deadline of a week on this. I know I could probably finish it much sooner before then if I just went all out on it. But that's what I'm working with. I'm gonna see how much I can do with this kind of a schedule to get this all done in a week. Alright. The ear. On the ear. Let's not use that brush. Let's use the smaller one. Alright. But yeah, it's... Oh yeah, speaking of art type stuff, I was checking my emails, and that one contest I was in last year, the Halloween fan art contest for Dream Keepers, it's coming up again, and he's gonna be giving the details out later once it gets closer to it. But it made me realize it's been one whole year since then, just about. And that kind of really made me kind of just, holy shit, it's been a year. Where's my, there it is. Yeah. And so it got me thinking about what the hell I've been doing with my life since then. The answer is a whole lot and nothing at the same time. And so I'm gonna, one of the things is this big move I'm working towards at the end of November. I keep flip-flopping on it. Like, the biggest question is if I should do it now or push it back till like end of December or so. And that one little email, it's like, Halloween contest is coming up again, really made me realize it needs to be now. Don't push it back, just go. How is there still paint on there? Yeah, I'm not really the best. I think this brush I had screwed up before I really started this stuff, and it just kind of ended up like that. But I realized with the Halloween fan art thing that I've been a bit stagnant in my life, and that's actually really scary to me. I spent an entire year of my life and not really done anything with it. I've got no guarantee that my life will get any better if I stay like that. So, give me a sec, it's a lot of little tiny little turns here. And so that, I think, really dispelled any of my flip-floppiness for the move. Because I need to move, and I don't need to push it back any more than it already is. So, it's gonna happen. We're gonna do it. However, on that same note, I looked into it a bit and I realized I need to do a bit more planning than I originally believed. So yeah, I've got a bit more work to do in that regard. A fair bit more. True, there is that, the whole pandemic putting a hold on the world for no real good reason. But yeah, it's that kind of also helps with why I need to do it, because if I don't do it now, something worse might pop up, as crazy as that might sound. So I need to do it when I'm able to. Something crazy might pop up, California might like get an earthquake, split off from America, cause huge traffic problems. I won't be able to get to where I'm going. Stuff like that. You never know. It's 2020. Oh, apparently this year also has a Friday the 13th in it. This year is just the most bizarre year ever. Pandemic, wildfires, uh, alerts of World War III, then North Korea making peace with the U.S., or not the U.S., but South Korea. I'm forgetting a hell of a lot of shit. This pandemic going on, the false impeachment of Trump, American Civil War Part 2 rising up. It's just, this year has been crazy. I don't know. It's all sorts of messed up. And so, I'm making this decision. I need to go. 2 and 3 Friday the 13th in it. Probably was a leap year. I think I can't remember, but the years aren't exact, but they do loop. And the leap year might have been just enough to bump it just right to get the 13th on all the Fridays or something. But yeah, that's kind of crazy, man. Give me a sec. There we are. Hey, getting places. Oh yeah, the hurricane, and 2 of them at that. Yeah, it's just the hurricane. It's just so much shit, you forget about it. With how much is going on. But yeah, we had 2 hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico that then merged or something. I've not kept track of any of that. It's at this point, it's at this point I've another disaster. Yeah, just chalked up on the board. 2020, we're at what, 25 disasters now. Hey. Really, maybe I should look into that. See what all happened. As far as I know, a hurricane got brought up in the Gulf, and then it merged with another one. That's my entire knowledge of what happened. Hey, fine detail work is really focusing. Ever, huh? Oh yeah, Australia was on fire. That started technically in 2019, I think, but it carried over into 2020. So yeah. Just everything. At this point, I'm just not surprised anymore. It's like, oh, another hurricane? Okay, whatever. It's just another... And yeah, there's been a couple of YouTube videos I stumble across, and they mention, they were made in 2019, and mentioned the coming new year. I think one of them is this guy who does programming, odd little logistical. I can't remember his name, but he talks about a lot of kind of fascinating subjects. And he talked about, if this hasn't been your year, well, maybe the next year will. Don't worry, it'll get better, or something to that effect. And he was talking about 2020. And it's just, yeah, no, that didn't quite pan out. That video didn't age very well. All right, cool. I'm actually having some fun painting all these. Oh, right, here, we'll work on the arm here. And it works. the year's been crazy. And, well, maybe I'm planning to move in the year 2020. See, my biggest worry is not whether I'll be okay, or that I won't find a place to live, or any silly thing like that. My biggest concern is I'm moving at the end of November. November is election day, or election month in America. Currently, most of the riots that are going on are all politically motivated. So, come this election, it's gonna get messy. It's gonna get crazy. I'm not promoting any of it, but I know it's gonna happen. Too much paint. And so I'm worried that some bigger problems might arise. But I don't know. It's just, one of my hopes is that this year has been so crazy that it might be crazy good. If I shack up with some hookers, you'll be fine. Okay, that's not a line of thought I've gone down or pursued. Here, maybe I'll write that down. Shack up with hookers as backup plan. There we go. Good. But yeah, no, I've got backup plans, or not backup plans, but things go bad, I've got places I can go back to, family and such. I've got family in Arizona, Texas, and here in Washington, so I'll be okay in those areas, and I can always come back to them. It's family. Give me a sec, making an elbow here. But yeah, it's hookers, huh? But one of the things, I don't know, it's I want to work on the bit of like chaos in the world, and well, that's one way of putting it. There's so much chaos in the world that something good has a very interesting chance of happening. Like something crazy, miraculously good, I guess would be one way to put it. I'm not depending on that, but if you want something unexpected to happen, now would definitely be the year for it. And that is actually one of my hopes. The unexpectedly good. That's what I'm looking forward to. Because most of my life I've gone with planned adventures. I have to do this way. I have it all planned out. It works out this way, that way, and the other. But I found whenever I do that, that's the only route that I ever go down. Nothing unexpected, nothing new happens. And one of the big things I'm looking for in this move is new things to happen. And so I want chance, the chaos, the possibility of the unknown helping me. But at the same time, letting your whole life be given to chance during this year is quite frightening thought. So it's yes, I want it to happen. No, I don't want it to happen. And like I said, I've got this like odd little flip-flop bit. But I think the biggest one was going back to that email I got about the Halloween contest. If I just play it safe, for instance, it'll be stagnant and nothing new will ever happen. It new things will happen, but not the ones I choose. Just whatever ones will go my way that I happen to run into. Like, hey look, the circus is in town today. It may not be the one I expected, but a new thing will happen. Oh boy, yeah, it's yeah, I had a Halloween contest last year. Are you? Yeah, you were around when we did that. Pretty dang sure. Big old 3D model. Give me a sec. Alright, there we are. Fill it in. I think I'm going to be trying to painting this time. I've got a month to make a Halloween painting of some sort. I think that might be an interesting one to go with. They've got multiple art categories, and last year was 3D. Now was the one of 2 people to do it. Oh yeah, no, this year I got a notification that this year's Halloween event is coming up again, so stay tuned, which led me down an interesting thought process. And so I started talking about it, and it made me remember last year's Halloween process. Give me a sec. So, but yeah, it's yeah, that little email, just a little notification for me going through my spam folders and shit. Well, my main email is my spam. I've started to try and clean it up. It's amazing how many bogus like emails you can just attribute. Yeah, well, I might want to take a part of these deals at some point, and it's like travel coupons. I'm not really going to be flying anywhere anytime soon. I'm spending my life savings moving, so I'm not going to have time for travel tickets. And such. And so I actually spent, before I got on, I was cleaning up a lot of those unsubscribe, because I've got like 3,000 emails. It's like I get like 10 a day, more like 20 a day. Restream, Twitch, your stream is not live, your stream is over, you're now going on Twitch like 3 times. It's annoying. Then I get all these weird women's fashion shit and doll things, all this stuff that isn't really relevant to me right now and just taking up space and time in my life currently. So I decided to unsubscribe, get rid of them, let it go. I work really well with the purge method of cleaning. Alright, too much shit, just dump it all, and then amass more shit later. It seems to work alright for me, for the most part. It's not really the best habit, but it does make a noticeable difference when you do it. Alright, give me a sec. Working on the sword handle here, I guess. Oh. Actually, let's work on the nose. I choose the nose right now. And I'm going to get a smaller bit of paint. This is, I believe, my smallish brush. Give me 1 sec. Noses are always the hardest for me. Getting them just right. think good enough. Good enough. Good enough. But yeah, it's yeah. Currently, I need to purge my room and clean it up again because I know I've got my sketchbook somewhere around here. No idea where it went to. Maybe it's a sign. Showed somebody it. I don't think I did. But yeah, I need to figure out where all that stuff went to. You know, figure out one of these days. So yeah, the purge method of cleaning, you really notice how big of a difference things do when you do it that way. So you let things build up, and then you're like, okay, yeah, I gotta take care of this. And then you just realize how little you actually use of all this stuff, how much it's been holding you back, and it's a little wake-up call to yourself. It's like, oh yeah, this is kind of a big deal. Like one of them for cleaning, like table space, for instance. This table here isn't too bad, but it still has a couple of messes. Problem is, this table's too small. I custom built this table myself to fit a small room out there. Now I have more room, but I still have a small table. It doesn't work out quite like I hoped it would. Yeah, so much stuff we hold on to, and we don't really need to. But yeah, it's like my plan to move, for instance. I don't expect much more than my car can hold when I move out there. Got a collapsible shelf, TV, microphone, this easel, table, clothes, half the stuff on that shelf there, and not much more. I'm expecting at most the smallest U-Haul possible to dump my shit into, and yeah, that's the most I'm going to be bringing. And it's fascinating otherwise how much stuff we hold on to. One of the other habits that kind of does that as well is I keep tabs open. It's like, oh, that's a neat little thing. Not enough to bookmark it, save the page, but enough to, I'll come back to that later. And then I come back to it later, it's like, I don't really need this. I just had this sitting here taking up space doing nothing for the longest time for something I'm not all that overly interested in. And then I end up closing the page again. And you go through the cycle like that. And you end up realizing you just keep all this stuff for a maybe. I might need it later. I might do this somehow. And you end up realizing you don't. You're not going to. Because yeah, it's one of the emails I unsubscribed from was Dollar Tree. No. Dollar Travels. It's some coupons for like flights to places. Some of them are really good deals, like really cheap flights to foreign countries, which is why I looked into it. But I never really had the time for it. Like, for instance, I'm currently saving up my money to move. Once I get there and get set up, then I might look back into that place. But until that time, it's not really all that helpful to me. Not right now, at the very least. So I don't need it. I can just get it out of mind, not worry about it, and focus on the current things I need to. Because I very much would like to go to other places. Travel a bit more. But I need to take care of my current setup at the moment. More so than I need cheap flights to Vietnam or some shit. Getting somebody else to not hold on to so much stuff, that's easier said than done. I don't quite envy you in that task. But, yeah, it's... one of the other things, I think a lot of it is like social media, not to put the boogeyman or like big bad social media aspect to it, but I think it's trained people to think they need more stuff, not in a consumerist way, but I guess somewhat in a consumerist way. Give me half a second. But to social media kind of habitualizes us to always need to keep tabs on everything, keep all the tabs open. We're following all these people, we need to know what all these people are always doing. And I took a break from social media for roughly 2 months, and my life wasn't really any better, but it wasn't any worse. I didn't really miss out on anything, and it was kind of one of those points where I don't need that. It doesn't really help me. Social media is this weird thing. In today's society, it's kind of really important as a business, but almost meaningless as a person. Yet we put so much value into it. Like, because yeah, for like me to grow my brand, to grow my channel, social media is an absolute must, just flat out. I will not survive in the internet society without some social media presence. And so I tried to doing that early on in my streaming career, but found that it wasn't working out for me. So I don't do it. Hey, you don't miss out. And the worst case scenario, some World War III happens, you will be hearing about it outside of social media. All the important details people will tell you about in person. It's like, did you guys hear? So-and-so just died. No? Oh yeah, well he died on blah 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 blah. Or, did you hear? There's a new riot going down in so-and-so. Really? Yeah, it's here. And I don't need social media for that. I've got people for that. And it's kind of fascinating. And this again kind of just does boil a bit down back to my I guess practice of just observing the world. I can observe it like that. Come on. Good enough. Like, I don't need to observe it through the lens of social media. I may be a bit behind with like immediate current events, but I have no need for immediate events. They are what they are. Learning about it immediately doesn't really change it about learning about it tomorrow. It's still there, or it's still not there. I may miss out on some super stupendous video game deal, but okay, I currently wasn't on it right now, but no biggie. I didn't have it before, so I don't quite need it now. And it's fascinating when you start just living life not having anything, or not focusing on needing to have things. And then there's also the social media aspect. It's all good. It can be. But like in social media, the biggest one for me is the daily grind for it. In, I guess, YouTube and streaming, for instance, are the big ones. They require a lot of clickbait and require people to make things daily. So YouTube and the like are all about consistently big and engaging numbers. But I don't have that, nor do I work at it, and so I don't focus on it. But I see all these other channels trying the new hottest thing, the new product, the new video game coming out, and everybody just bandwagons on everything. And it's, yeah, okay, if you need to do that stuff to stay on top, you do you, but I don't like that. I don't like the rat race aspect. I don't like having to push everybody to their absolute limit to for peanuts. Is the worst aspect of it. You get all these guys. I think some famous streamer, I don't watch him, but I think his name is XQC or something. From what I know, he like almost religiously played Overwatch or some such. But he was always stressed, always hyper from little videos I've seen of the guy. And that's not natural. That's not normal. And honestly, I think a lot of life now is designed like a machine. Yeah, this month is Fall Guys. I don't mind people being interested in a new thing. Oh, yeah, sure, go ahead. But when you depend on the new thing, that's when things get crazy. That's when it's like you've crossed the line into something else. Because hell, I myself am looking into new things to do. I'm going to Texas. I'm going to be trying something new. That's... Oh, come on. Work with me here, paintbrush. I'm sounding somewhat hypocritical about it, but I'm moving to Texas so my life doesn't stagnate from same old, same old. So I'm going to Texas to allow new things to happen. So in that sense, I'm not much different in that regard, but if I were to attribute what I'm doing, it would be like, I need to move now, I need to go to Texas immediately, and then do all that stuff. It's like, no, I can wait a little. I can be okay with it for a while. At the same time, I really need to work on my patience. Not being able to wait for things, but waiting too long for things. That's a personal hang-up. Patience is a virtue, but I've lived through many problems because it can wait. It can wait. I can wait. I don't need it now. When, in fact, that was the problem. I was waiting for things to happen. So, I guess... I don't know, I'm starting to ramble here. But... I don't know. Anyway, so just sitting here painting, taking life as it is, taking life as it comes, and I want to try and take a bit more control. by I want to take control of my life by allowing chaos to do it for me. I don't quite know how well that plan's going to work out, but that's currently what I'm working towards. Allow that little bit of the unknown into my life. Well, that's it. I'm allowing the unknown to happen. Instead of waiting with there's a quote on one of the motivation videos. I should pop those back open for a bit. That talks about known hells and unknown heavens. Man would rather... Ramble's fine. I know, but a lot of the rambles I have tend to be circular. They repeat. I only have so many things I can ramble about. Especially on personal matters. I only have so many personal matters to ramble about. But, they talk about known hells and unknown heavens. I'm hoping to run into an unknown heaven, because currently in this place it's very stable. It's too stable for me personally. It's kind of, this way is the way it'll be for a while, and there's not really much changing that. And so I want that to change. I want that to be different. So I'm choosing to leave the stability of my life here in order to go into an unstable place with nothing but unknowns, because I want to, because I choose to. It's really hard to paint a straight line, just so you know. It's really hard to paint a same thickness paint line like this with a rinky-dink brush. So yeah, I'm going into Belly of the Beast with the biggest unknown in my life, with no idea if any of it'll work out, but the hope and the faith that it will. And that brings me back to another quote from some of that motivation video stuff I watched. I've got like a set of like 5. It's hard to paint a line, yeah. I've got a set of like 5 videos I used for motivation a while back. And one of them quotes Jim Carrey during a speech for some college, I think. Something like that. Come on. And he talks about hope and faith. And originally, I kind of disagreed with him. But now, my position has changed a bit. He talks about hope being a beggar. And one of the quotes is, hope walks through the flames while faith leaps over it. And it's not faith as in religion or faith as in stuff like that, but faith that things will work out. Faith that you can do it. And faith being very powerful in that regard. And I have to admit, it is. Because I have hope that things will work out, but hope is very fragile, very fragile. And but faith is a lot more stronger. It's a lot more powerful. And I had been basing most of my life off of hope, and hope is a somewhat passive way of doing it, I guess, is one way to look at it. Because I hope it'll work out. I hope things go in my favor. As opposed to, I have faith that things will be in my favor. I have faith that I'll be okay. And it's kind of small, but really, really big too. Because, like, previously I had, like, hope. I hope my movement, my upcoming move is going to work out. I hope it's okay. But honestly, after working at Radio Shack here as a phone technician, I have faith that I'll be perfectly fine. And that makes a huge difference in how you go about life. Sorry, just still trying to make straight lines with paint. It's a lot harder than it looks. itty bitty tiny brush that wants to put a blob of paint on the blade. Oh shit. But yeah, it's yeah, working a job actually is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I worked a job at Walmart as the oil tech and a job currently as the phone repair technician at Radio Shack. You guys kind of know this already, but it's given me absolute confidence in my ability. Just absolute confidence that I'll be okay in the world. Because I've got this customer currently, actually. He wants me to repair his TV. It's got this weird flicker in it. It's like, okay, I looked into it, and it's got the backlight of the TV acting up. That needs to be replaced. Alright, so I can do that. But the reason he wants his TV repaired is so he can do stop motion animation for the kids and like use the TV as a backdrop. Alright, cool. And he starts asking me about cameras. Can you get into like anything about these cameras or like these action figures? He's going flat out into it, not knowing about stop motion, not knowing about cameras, not knowing about TVs, not knowing about any of that. But he's going to go into it. And it's just kind of baffling. He's done no research, but he's already doing it. And yeah, this confidence is huge. It's very big. Not mine, but confidence in general. Alright, that looks like most of the outline is done on this guy. Right, oop, there's a white spot there. But yeah, it's like before I hope things will work out. I hope I'll get that job. I hope I can do the job. But now it's, hell, I know I can. I'll be okay. Stop motion is fun. It is interesting. When I was younger, I wanted to try and do one for a school project, but didn't work out. Too much work. Not gonna make it in time. Yada yada. Yeah, I will always respect stop motion. People do it well anyway. Yeah, it's when I was younger, there was this one YouTube series of these like little blue clay guys, and they had some really fascinating little videos on it. What the hell were their names? They were like clay dudes without a face. Their face was just like a little mound. They had arms that went straight into a little head. And what the hell was their name? But yeah, I used to watch some of those videos. And I grew up with Tim Burton. And the Nightmare Before Christmas. And a lot of the stop motion stuff like that was what I've always been fascinated by. The more recent one is Corpse Bride and Kubo and the Two Strings. Those were just really fascinating and really well done. And just awesome. The amount of time, effort, and dedication for it. And honestly, other than a couple of hang-ups sometimes, stop motion tends to look a lot better than 3D. Because with 3D you get this weird fakeness to it all. It looks, there's just this off bit about it. But you can get stop motion and you can know it's stop motion, but it still looks so real. And I don't know what that quality is, but stop motion is really fascinating. I should probably do white first there. No soul. And yeah, that is a big one. It's a lot of big movie budget stuff now being just put more money into it. Just do it this way, just do it that way. And there's no soul in anything anymore. That's if I could manage anything in this world, it's, if anything I hope to manage would be to just put a little bit more soul into the world, because I see that aspect of everything dying, and I honestly find a lot more interest and passion and fascination in the little guy, the guys who do things for passion projects of whatever nature, and those are RoboCop. Oh, I gotta watch that again. I saw a reference shot the other day, and yeah, it's RoboCop's that big old freaking mech thing that he shoots down. What was it? They put that guy's brain in there. It's been, I need to rewatch that, man. But yeah, it's some of that stuff, and even like some of that old stuff, it's like kind of janky. The Go Motion, I think the original stuff, and the Argonauts, Jason and the Argonauts, I think is the name of it, or like the original King Kong shit. All that stuff is all that, like that weird little janky stuff. Kane, that was it, Kane. And you can see that, and it's there. But then, hell, King Kong is actually a really good example of it. Like the most recent one with, like, I think Jack Black, I think they called it Skull Island or something like that. That is a good example of one without much soul. They had this one scene where it's like all these dinosaurs falling on them, all these like big old, the long necks, brontosaurs, chasing after them and falling into a big old pile or whatever. And there's this big old chaotic chase scene that they had to run away from, but you could tell it was just fake. You could tell it was just green screen. There wasn't really any severity to it. And there was a these guys I watch, Corridor Digital, they watch a lot of VFX and laugh at the bad ones, praise the good ones, and they also do some stunt effects. And one of them they did was for Indiana Jones, and that was a fascinating one, because they showed some effects from the Crystal Skull, the fourth one that shouldn't exist. And they showed and talked about how they made the comment like Looney Tune physics, where people are jumping across the cars and like balancing and doing all these crazy ass stunts, but you can obviously tell it's all green screen and fake and stuff. And they gave it the title of Looney Tune stunts. And then they showed I think it was the Lost Ark. I think that's the one where he's like rolling around and fighting on the tank. And in that one, it was live stunts, live people, and he was actually almost run over by the treads, but they were still prop treads. But it had that sense of, this is real. There's no fakeness that you can see from here. He's gonna get crushed by that tank. The one that they did notice was when he like rolled over and his bag gets caught on the blasted gun turret, and the tank is running him into a wall, and he's sitting there, oh my god, just trying to like squeeze his way through and not get like crushed by the wall and the tank. That was a real stunt. That was something that actually took place, and you felt that. But if it was a 3D one, it would have just been, ooh, you can't. It wouldn't be this there. The soul would be missing. And it was the phrase Looney Tune physics that really stuck with me, because that's kind of what it is. It doesn't hold true to real life. It's an imitation of it. And since they can do anything, they try and do everything, even though that's not quite how the world works. one of the other ones is like some of the lower budget movies are oftentimes a lot better. Cause there's one movie, The Illusionist. I think it was a minus ranked movie, or it wasn't a big budget one, but just big enough to actually make it look good. And there wasn't a lot of huge grandiose special effects, but it was a group of people, and you could tell they put it together well because they knew it was. And then you've got all these other big budget movies where they're absolutely forgettable. They've spent millions, hundreds of millions on these movies, and you walk out the theater, and the next day, you can't remember anything that happened. It was one of the other ones is like Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank Redemption. There's no special effects. It's just people in that movie. There is one big one where they're dangling off a cliff. That's actually a special effect there. But other than that, it's about the characters, about the people, about the interactions. It's all real, actually real. But then you've got just this new wave of stuff. I have seen The Thing. I don't think I've seen the original one. I think I've seen the remake, or the continuation, the second one. But I haven't seen, I think they made a third one. I've only seen one of The Things, and I think it was the 90s, 80s, 90s one. I can't remember the year for it. But that's the one I have seen for The Thing. And that's, speaking of also like stop motion, that's a lot of, well, that, The Thing movie is like really impressive with the effects on that one. The fucking head. And that's one of the other ones. There was the movie Cloverfield. That one was a fascinating one. They originally planned for the in that movie. Give me one sec. Trying to get this right. They originally planned for like to have like actual models that the actors could work with, and then they would like CG it out, but it didn't quite work out that way. But even still, they had a fake model, a practical model that the actors could work with, and it gave them a sense of, this is what I'm interacting with, as opposed to, okay, here's the thing, you're getting attacked by a big space monster. We don't know what it looks like, but you're getting attacked by one. Go. As opposed to getting attacked by an actual, you can actually see him, you can react to it. Because with the green screen effect, you just shot things in, people have to like imagine they're looking at something, and you have to work so much to get it to appear like it should be there. But with practical effects, it's, oh, no, it's right here. This is what I'm looking at. I can actually see it. I can interact it. I can act better because of it. Oh wow, it's almost 6. But yeah, it's and oftentimes actually practical effects are also cheaper and more time effective than some of the big old special effects shit. Like it takes hours of rendering processes to do a lot of that, but a practical effect, you could maybe build a miniature and then explode it, and it would be about as fast as if you did it otherwise. But yeah, it's practical effects I will respect. They work. Yeah, hold on. I should probably get going, guys. Here's the progress I've made, though. I made that outline. I'll probably smooth it up a little bit better, but I did have the outline and all that done on the sword. Alright. Anyway, see you guys later. Thank you for the chat and all that stuff. I Am Mother. Oh. I think we have that, but I haven't seen it fully. I think I've seen bits of it while my family's watching it. I should probably check that one. Yeah, it's just... Practical effects are cool. Practical effects for life, man.